Show on WTAM 1100.
I am Jimmy Malone, and we go to our guest line where from College Now GC, College Now Greater Cleveland, my friend Michele Scott Taylor. Actually, Dr. Michele Scott Taylor is standing by. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning, friend. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. One of the proudest things about my life is my affiliation with College Now. It is an outstanding organization.
Aww.
It has helped thousands of people for so many years, and you're doing so much good work. So briefly tell everybody what College Now is all about.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for having me, as always. Well, College Now, we are over 55 years old. We are the first college access organization in the nation. And basically what we do is we help young people and adults navigate college and career. And we do that by supporting all the processes and activities needed for a student to be prepared for, enroll, and most importantly, complete their degree, their program, their certification. We put advisors in high schools all across Northeast Ohio, and these advisors support students and families in completing applications, doing their FAFSA, which is very important, completing scholarship applications, and doing fun things like taking them on college visits and career exposure opportunities.
All right, we're here at the end of January. So what, for a lot of people, should have a lot of things out of the way by now. But if you're a college senior and it's here at the end of January, what should you have already done, or what should you get busy doing?
Okay. Right now, if you have not applied to college, you really need to get on that, because most colleges, while they do have like early decision and early action where deadlines were due, when deadlines were like November and December, many colleges still have either January, February application deadlines, or even some colleges have rolling admissions. So if you are interested in pursuing post-secondary education, which could be a certificate, a 2-year or 4-year degree, you want to make sure that you are at this point applying to colleges. But in addition, what's very important is that you are, if you haven't done so already, you are completing the free application for federal student aid, affectionately known as the FAFSA. This determines how much federal aid you could be eligible for to help you afford your college education. In addition, lots of colleges use the results from the FAFSA to determine which institutional types of scholarships or grants you might be eligible for. So I know a lot of families sometimes say it's not worth my time to do it. I make too much money, or I don't make too much, but the government doesn't think so, is what a lot of parents say. You still want to complete the form because you just never know. A lot of it depends on the institution that you're pursuing as well. So those are the two big things that seniors should be doing right now. And then shortly hereafter, you should be starting, if you haven't already done so, looking for scholarships. In College Now, we have a database of scholarships that has been curated, so you can check out our website to see which scholarships are available. We have our own scholarships, so if you are in a school, or if your student is in a school where there's a College Now advisor, ask the advisor, what about the College Now scholarship? So those are the three biggies for our seniors, and just making sure they kind of finish their senior year strong. Have a good time, but try to finish as strong as possible.
Michele Scott Taylor from College Now is our guest. A lot of people mistakenly believe that if they aren't a 4.5 student with 5,000 activities, that they're not going to get any scholarship. So please correct this.
Yes, so that is not necessarily true. While there is a lot to be said for students who are high achievers, the reality is most students are just regular, normal, average folks. And so while more selective institutions, and by that I mean typically your IDs and your baby IDs, while they may have a very high standard and threshold for the kinds of students they're looking for to admit as well as to give scholarships to, many scholarships are quite honestly based on financial need of a family. And again, that financial need looks different for the type of school you're applying to. So when I say financial need, it doesn't mean you have to, you don't have to be homeless in order to get scholarships or grants, but there is need that probably is associated with it. But not only that, lots of scholarships look at interest, scholarships that look at community service that's been done, scholarships that look at, hobbies and interests that students may have. So it's not always about the academic credentials of a student. Sometimes it's about other parts that make us just human beings in general, things we like, things we've done, where we've contributed to our communities, where we've worked, religious affiliations. Churches often have scholarships, the Rotary Club. There are all kinds of places where students can find scholarships that are not tied to having a 4.0 and 16 AP classes.
Michele Scott Taylor is our guest. I want to encourage you all to go to collegenowgc.org. Collegenowgc.org. That is the website for College Now. You can get a lot of information there. Michele, one of the things that the media does a very, very poor job of, and I'm part of the media, but they will have they'll have dozens of stories about somebody who's $150,000 in debt, $200,000 in debt, whatever.
Yes.
And it makes it seem like this is going to happen to everybody. They don't do stories about students who make, good choices and find a way to get to an affordable college.
No, you're absolutely right. And to be honest, for my families out there, my parents who are probably in my age bracket, I would suspect, many folks have not taken advantage of the public service loan forgiveness program. And Jimmy, just so you know, you won't believe this, my student loans got forgiven. And I thought I was going to die with my student loans. So I won't say that I made a bad decision taking out the loans, but what I will say, it was a burden. And there is a way to avoid the kind of burden that a lot of families and their students experience. And to your point, one of those things is trying to find a school that you can afford. And by afford, what we generally say is, if you have to take out a private loan from a bank or, third mortgage your house, those schools are probably going to be hard to afford because you have to think about it. Your student's going to be there for at least 4 years or if not more. So part of the college search process is looking at what you want to do, where you want to live, what programs the college offers. But one of the most important factors is determining if the school, you can afford it over 4 years. And so a lot of financial aid counseling should be done before a final decision is made. And we try to do a good job at helping families compare college costs because sometimes, costs are hidden or buried in those financial aid award letters, or there's unanticipated costs that families may not be aware of. So in order to kind of minimize the amount of student loan debt your student's going to take out, you got to think about what is the future, what career do I want to be in, and can I get the credentials that I need at a less costly institution? My best example is if you want to be a teacher, there's probably, in my opinion, this is Michele talking, I probably wouldn't have gone to an Ivy League school if I wanted to be a teacher, because the truth is careers have different salary potential. That's just the reality of the world. And so if you know that your salary over the lifetime is going to be X for your career, you have to factor that into the kind of college you're going to go to. So does that make sense? So, doctors and people who are going into medicine or maybe some of those professional fields, they can maybe afford to take on more student loan debt because their salaries are going to more than pay for it over the course of their working life. So those are the things you have to keep in mind. What major do you want to go in? What kind of career do you want to have? What does that career pay? And then do the cost-benefit analysis about how much student loan debt is worth it. And for some families, it's not worth it at all.
Yeah, she is our guest. And again, I encourage people to apply to a variety of schools because sometimes the school with the highest tuition might give you the most aid and might make it affordable, but you won't know till you apply.
That is a big misnomer as well. I always encourage folks to look at public and private because private institutions often have endowments and special, aid programs that most people are not aware of. So, yeah, you're absolutely right.
Michele Scott Taylor has been our guest. And again, if you want to get more information about College Now, we've only scratched the surface. They help high school students. They have an adult learner program. They do a lot. So go to collegenowgc.org, collegenowgc.org. Michele, thank you for being a guest.
Jimmy, thank you so much. Call me anytime.
Okay.